I was recently kicked out of my house because my parents told me to find a real job, so I did, in VR. Job Simulator is one of the most famous VR games to ever exist, and I'm gonna get all 11 achievements for this relatively easy game. As 4 achievements are gotten by beating all 4 jobs, which are store clerk, office worker, gourmet chef, and mechanic. 4 are gotten for completing the job's hidden goal, and the last 3 are random things you can do whenever. So when I load into the simulation room, that's right, I get to play a game inside of a game, but for the first job that I don't get paid for, is store clerk. So let's take a look at how this goes. Being a convenience store clerk would be a great experience for the first job I got, and my first task was to turn on the security cameras. I then gave my first customer her chips and a meat cylinder, which at this time of the day is an odd choice. The second guy wanted 2 candy bars and a slushie, which debates all laws of physics. I then gave a grandma a copy of yesterday's news and a losing lottery ticket. Then a trash talker walked in and demanded a hot dog, so I gave him half of one. Then a little devil child demanded sugar, so I gave her some special substance in her slushie that, let's say, just made her a bit tipsy. Her mother wasn't really too happy about that. I then got to make a super rad display of max energy for the promotion I got, and gave the dude some newspaper for cleaning purposes. I guess that max energy stuff has some side effects, if you know what I mean. I shook a can of that max energy substance before handing it to a fitness coach. Then some rich bozo wanted some random stuff, so I gave him all my losing lottery tickets and charged them for it as well. As a part of my job, I had to restock the shelves with magazines, gum, and some hot sauce. I then made a special deal with the customer. I gave expired ice pops to him, as well as some more losing lottery tickets. I then was held at Banana Point, which was to be expected at a low security gas station. I gave a stoner his big burrito that would probably have some of that special substance he's hooked on. I then got access to the Cleaning Bot 2000, otherwise known as a Roomba, and I got it to clean all the goo stains, which certainly isn't sanitary. A totally adult robot wanted some fireworks, so I just asked to see some ID just to make sure, and the machine said it was legit, so I gave the 3-headed man his fireworks. But it turned out to be 3 little gremlins instead. The police came so I could bust the criminal who robbed me, and the choice wasn't too hard to make. So I told the officer it was BanditBot, and if I was called BanditBot, I would also probably rob places. Anyway, I would get the first achievement for completing the store clerk job, and I would return to the simulation room. In the simulation room, I could get an achievement for chucking a random cartridge at JobBot in the museum. After that, I get to move on to the second job, office worker. The office job is the most popular job any person can get, so this job should be totally accurate to the world we live in. I start the day off with a typical American breakfast consisting of 6 donuts. Don't judge me, it's my cheat day. I then booted up my PC after some issues, getting the power on. When logging in though, I had to take a call, and the person on the other end asked for line 1, but sadly, my finger slipped. When on my computer, I looked through my emails, and I must have been very popular as I had hundreds of thousands of emails. So a quick Control-A plus delete helped me with that. And I'm sure they weren't important, and none of them were about finding the cure for cancer. My supervisor came and he said I'll get a promotion if I impress him well enough. So I did my little dance. It worked and I got the promotion to human assistant supervisor. 5 minutes into the job and I already got promoted. With my newfound promotion, I get to hire 2 bots to work for the company. When looking through my resumes, I found the Safari bot, and he impressed me so well that I hired him twice. My supervisor then told me that the company was losing some money, and I did my special skills, which is tax fraud. With a few 1s and 0s, I made it so the company paid $0 in taxes. It felt good to be a wanted criminal for a shady organization. Lunchtime rolled around and I got a pretzel. My coworker wanted me to get him some nuts, so I gave him my nuts, which were stuck in the vending machine. I was then sent some memes by my second coworker, which was a nice break from all the hard work I've done already. Boss boy came back and told me about a presentation I had to do, so JobBot gave me some good advice.
Time to learn about an ancient human technique called winging it.
Using the ancient technique of winging it, I made a fabulous and totally not misleading presentation about the company's economic standing. I then presented it and everyone liked it, so I was able to not get fired. I was now tasked with writing a farewell card to a retiring bot, so 1s and 0s later the card was finished. The boss then had me fire some guys who weren't getting their work done on time, so I fired Cowboy Bot and this posh peacock. Next up, I chatted with some more co-workers and we had a deep, meaningful talk about family where I showed them a picture of my family, which was just some random picture I stole from the internet. I got a basketball dunk with the facts I got before the boss came and told me to shred all the evidence of my tax fraud operation. After that, I had to shred stuff in my office, and for an achievement, I had to shred this toy of JobBot, which made me a monster. I then had a party, not because it was my birthday, but because I got another promotion, making me the CEO. However, the good times faded when I blew out the candles and all the bots took my cake, even though they don't even have to eat anything. Now that I'm CEO, I flipped the switch to let everyone go home. This also got me the achievement, but again, my party was ended when I was told this.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask you to come in on
Saturday.
So I booked it out of there as fast as I could. The third job I applied for was to become a chef at Grubs. However, the only issue with this job is that robots still don't need to eat any food that I make them. It's pointless. The customer's always right, so take your bacon and eggs. The next order was a request for apple juice. So blending the apples in the blender gave me the juice. A British man then wanted the most British breakfast ever, tea and crumpets. I was disgusted just thinking about it, so I drank my problems away, just like my dad taught me to do. Someone then ordered soup, which is my speciality, so I made him soup made from soup, which is this job's special achievement that I had to get. Next up, a man wanted me to cook his meat, and anyone who wants meat cooked this bad needs to seek therapeutic help immediately. But he did ask for a glass of wine, so I can forgive him. I then used a tactical nuke microwave to make a single slice of pizza for an entire birthday party. Looks more like a school pizza party if you ask me. However, the kid is apparently allergic, which I have to say, why did you order it then? So I made him raw pizza, which was just bread and cheese. A man then wanted to propose to his girlfriend, so I hit the ring very well, I'll add you, in a sandwich. I then eavesdropped on the conversation, which was the most funniest interaction ever.
What's this, my dear? My sandwich feels much heavier than usual.
My sweet, emotion. Will you enter a legally binding partnership with me?
Oh, of course! I'm the happiest spot in the world.
After that, the party was over and I was tasked with cleaning all the plates from the aftermath. So a little water and soap got those tough stains right out, and I arranged the plates neatly as my OCD wouldn't allow them to be in such disarray. The food inspector arrived, so I tested the equipment to make sure everything was working and the sprinklers weren't. But what are the chances of there being a fire? I then had to blend up some bugs, which won't have me needing to drink them later. I passed the inspection and now get to do a commercial. I was a star. I did everything they asked. But in my opinion, anything that exponentially increases inside when being microwaved is either popcorn or not safe to consume. So what did I do? I ate the cube drenched in the bug juice. Some guy wanted to test his spice tolerance, so I nuked his pepper. This caused him to start a fire, and I used a fire extinguisher. But damn, what a coincidence. My raw talent was discovered by Chef Bot Ram's Head. But I think Gordon suits him better. Anyway, I did some cooking and made some art which impressed Gordon Ramshead enough to give me the Culinary Completionist achievement. Now only one job remains. The final job I applied for was an auto mechanic. Now my first customer was a sweet old grandma, and this car was the key to the achievement for this job. Turning the car to the front, I could access the glove box, where I grabbed myself a hand and got the achievement. I then powered her car with uranium and charged her 1.5 grand. Economy at its finest. The next guy came and I gave his car a special treatment, making sure it worked. When I finished, I gave him a coupon that doubles his next visit. The rich screwing over the poor? Never heard of that before. The next dude brought over his rust bucket, so I fixed it up, replacing almost everything. The air filter, paint, and the thing at the front. I charged him almost 2 grand for my service, which completing his car under 30 seconds must be a world record, I'm not gonna lie. The next customer was Bandit Bot, and he required me to change the car's color and license plate. It seemed as though he was trying to hide from someone, that someone being the law, but he paid me, so I'll turn a blind eye. I am now tasked with making an advertisement for the workshop so I can get more customers and money. So I'm writing a very good message which I think you should all follow, and that will definitely attract some customers for me. A racer then wanted me to replace all her tires, which I have to comment on. How did they get that worn out? I gave her her donut wheels and super max energy, which I think made the engine combust, but I'm no mechanic. Wait, I am a mechanic. I must have used ChatGPT during uni, my bad. Banditbot came back and he asked me that I strip the car down for parts, so I stole all the engine parts and tires. When I discovered the car wasn't actually his. The real owner arrived and I tried to explain what happened, but he took the car and left. Oh well, not my problem anymore. Some kid came in with his dad's car and it was completely trashed, so I cleaned it up when I found a special tape in the back. I'll save that for later if you know what I mean. I finished the job and the guy went on his way. Next, I designed a float for the parade, and all I did was litter it with junk that was around and sent it on its way. Now I was the final customer of the day, and this guy was the same guy at the diner who had been married. I decorated his car with more junk and smashed a bottle of wine inside. He then asked for a gift, so I gave him a trophy of my boss. At the end of the job, I charged this man 2.7 grand for my services, and I got the final job completion achievement. With all the jobs completed, I would then scroll through all the credits, which are funny comments and such. After a while of this, I would make it to the end of the credits where I would receive the achievement, Know Your Maker. I then ate my burrito for the last time, returning to the simulation room for the last time. When you fully complete Job Simulator, you get access to special buffs, like the Game Genie for the cartridges. These buffs activate special perks in the job. I would get an achievement for loading into the store clerk job with the Game Genie activated. In the store clerk level, I missed the special job achievement. You might wonder what it could be, and it's for winning the lottery, which is no joke, I did on my second attempt. With winning the lottery, I get the lucky winner achievement, but also the 100% completion in Job Simulator. So now I can retire and enjoy a life of content creation, as well as buy my own house. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like, as well as to subscribe to my channel, as when I reach 500 subs, I will platinum Dark Souls 2. If you want to watch more of my content, I would leave the video where I platinum the entire Spyro trilogy on screen now.